I recently heard about a game that has an NPC with your real name on it. I think those people are insane, but I gave it a try though. The game loaded instantly and the surroundings were dark and foggy. The fog was really thick. I could move and the fog was still there. I couldn't even tell if I was moving or if the fog was too thick to see anything. To my surprise, someone else was in the game. I could see this by looking in the players list. I couldn't see their avatar in the player list, but their name was Figure. I clicked on the resume button. I heard a loud thumping of someone else's feet. I heard it faint at first. Then I heard it get closer and closer. My anxiety was going through the roof at this point. The footsteps were extremely unsettling. Every time I heard one, shivers went down my spine. It was 1 a.m. when I was playing this game, and I get easily scared during the night. I couldn't scream though, otherwise my parents would wake up and punish me for staying up too late. The footsteps at this point were louder than before. A figure showed up. His head was round like an oval, and it was getting closer. So this is the thing making that footstep noise. Now I was excited knowing those rumors are probably true. The figure slowly got closer with each step, becoming more visible. I then saw the monstrosity. His eyes were white and so were his pupils. His back was curved over, with his backbone sticking out. His arms were the strangest though. One arm was humanoid, and one had its skin wrapped around machete-like blades replacing his fingers. But the one thing that is most questionable is his smile. His cheekbones were extended, going out of his head. I thought of drawing him since he looked so fascinating and ugly. The abomination was fully visible standing there. He stared at me while smiling. I waited for a long time, and finally he spoke. The anonymous player said, "Do you think I'm ugly?" I responded with, "Yes." He laughed at me. I could actually hear a laugh sound effect that sounded real. Too real. While the sound effect played, his hands covered his mouth doing a laughing animation I've never seen before. He responded with something that confused me. "Sorry for the nudity, I was once wearing a Mario t-shirt." I was wearing a Mario t-shirt at the moment, and I thought it was a coincidence. I said, "Oh, well, I'm wearing one right now." He says back to me, "Don't talk about it." "Why?" I asked, and he responded with, "That is none of our business. Come, we must talk." He then walked away while I followed behind. We walked for a while. It was a full minute. We finally arrived where he wanted to talk. There was a gate with frost on its bars. The gate was so wide I couldn't even see the ends of it. And of course, the fog was too thick to see anything past the gate. He opened the gate and looked down at me. His hands was showing me the way through the gate, like he was welcoming me. I went in and saw a path on the ground made out of brick and clay. I walked down the path while he walked beside me. He said, "You're going to want to get comfortable, because you will stay here for a while." I was confused when he said this, but I brushed it off, and I followed along with whatever he meant. And I said, "Okay." He responds with, "Don't get too comfortable though. This place is angry and sad." I just followed him to see what he wanted. He showed me a grave. We soon approached it, and it had no engravings, no name, no date. He sat on it and said, "See you soon." He left the game, which I did as well. I then searched the name Figure, and what showed up shocked me. It was the same guy except his name was different. It was my full name. At this point, I thought it was just a bad dream. I was bored, so I took a look at my friends list. I still have Nagram 24 from my other creepypasta on there, and I have a player called The You'll Try on the list as well. I've tried to get in contact with him, and he would never answer me in chat. I took a look at his profile and saw he updated it. Now, he has a weird about section saying 5line, and a lot of links to a profile. But the profile he linked to was banned anyways. He also has some new friends and most of them are banned, like Follower, 5line, and KI8V. It was a little weird to me, and he also favorited some games. There were 2 games that looked the same as each other, and the games had a very similar thumbnail. Those thumbnails looked like bloody creatures. I played some of the games he favorited and they were weird. I didn't know it, but when I played the games, a guy called 5line Returned joined. It was someone who was banned but made a new profile. I asked him what the point of the symbols were, and he told me they all mean something. But there was one symbol he could not get on the thumbnail, a secret symbol that he didn't want anyone to know, and then he left. I later decided to play Roblox High School. The first game I joined was hacked. That's pretty normal, that happens, right? Well, the next game I joined, I was all alone. The same happened on all the other games I tried to join. When Fiveline Return friended me, and the only thing he said was, "Nothing to ask, but bye for now." When I looked at his profile, he was banned. That was a very weird day in my opinion. I started playing Roblox 2 years ago, playing almost every event and trying to study the history of Roblox. Roblox to me was a goldmine of amazing games and an amazing community, and I couldn't compare it to any other game or software. I was stuck in a playground of never-ending fun. It was that happy and cheerful. Except, I noticed something extremely strange and terrible about it. There was a game hidden in the core of Roblox, an uncanny resemblance to depression, and it had a story about it. The game's name was Home of Roblox, which I thought to myself was the default place new accounts owned and whatnot. The creator's name was Bill. He joined on Friday 14th. I couldn't remember the year though, because I didn't want to mess with someone this diabolical. The game was very quiet and peaceful, containing the old and golden happy home. No music, just the footsteps of my Roblox character. It wasn't that scary, nothing. It was all normal. Players started to join and started to chat. One said that this game contained demonic spirits and entities trying to trap us all in here. Only a few believed him. It then cut onto the forums like wildfire, spreading towards YouTube. It was so clearly fake. I watched a video about it and it only contained Photoshop and ugly editing. It was obviously Kazok and Dragod. I never trusted these people. After a day or so, I joined again. I was with 2 more people searching the map. I asked them what they were doing and they replied, "Bill." I immediately thought these guys were just stunned and confused from the fake rumors and other stuff the gullible people were feeding them. Except that's when I noticed something inside the billboard. It was shocking. It was Bill's avatar covered in black and red goo, which I presumed to be colored water. I typed in the chat, "I didn't know you can color terrain water," and it all went downhill from there. The sky turned night, the fogginess turned misty and cloudy, like before the dawn. No more footsteps were heard. All of us panicked. I tried to get out of the game, but I didn't want to. I wanted to know more. More players started to join and started to freak out. Some celebrated and some made fun of others, thinking this was all a joke played by a mischievous 06er, except they were wrong. The music started to play distorted speech, seeming to be a chant. Decals of a demonic goat painted with blood started to appear on almost every decal, except Bill. The ambience started to get painful as it grew louder every minute. Some players started to leave and they got sent back here, which is a reason I don't know and can't comprehend. Everyone's avatar started to freeze and the chat was muted. The game crashed and we were sent to a game, similar to Escape Area 91, except the atmosphere was a dark orange like red. The fogginess was so extreme that you couldn't see the surroundings. The downwards tunnel was smothered with realistic blood, and I wish I couldn't use this cliche, but it was there. I didn't want to see it, but we had no choice. We explored the facility. There were no creepypasta monsters or anything, just the fog. The chat was open again and everyone started panicking. Some just froze on the spot just to not endure the nightmare fuel they were gonna see, but some explored, only to find something haunting. A head, a white, shiny head, with the default face sitting on top of a sharp-ended iron bar. The rust was red and a dark liquid spurted from the bottom of the head. We were so disgusted and scared, I couldn't handle it. I tried to brave up, thinking this was just a silly Halloween trick made by the admins, and I tried to shake and laugh it off. After a few seconds, the lights started to flicker, including my house lights. The other players were receiving the same issue and started to panic. I grabbed my soft and detailed wool blanket, hiding in it. I slowly backed away from the computer, hiding underneath my bed for comfort and safety. We were once teleported again to the game. This time it was peaceful and quiet, like last time. I got up, the lights stopped flickering on and off. We stayed in our place while some daredevils tried to explore. That was then we found the body of Bill, but this time it was a real human body. We thought this was a silly mesh with some really good decals placed on it, but whenever we stepped on it, it would move its position. It wasn't like a rag doll, because it felt and moved so realistically. After we tried to fidget and move the body, the atmosphere started to change again. This time it was a very red sky with fog worse than before. The body changed from a sleeping kid wearing a green Minecraft shirt with beige shorts, to a dead body without clothes. His stomach was stabbed, with his intestines and other organs peeking out. His head seemed to have bruises and concussions. We were more disgusted now than before. The game crashed and the game was immediately taken under review. All the players, including me, got a message from the Roblox team. "Hi, we are very sorry for the inconvenience in the place you have visited. We are currently taking a look at it after receiving some complaints from the players. Please message us back on Twitter or social media sites, including some images or descriptions on what happened and what the game contained. Thank you." From Roblox. I was never so more relieved to see this message and seeing the game being taken down. I then received an image from Roblox on Twitter. It was Bill's dead body. Someone was cutting his neck with a sharp-ended rusty iron bar, and so I saw it clearly. The head wasn't a white Roblox head with a default face. It was someone else's.